Hey, good evening. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, IG. Good evening, Facebook. Good evening, YouTube. Yes, YouTube. Hey, how you guys doing? All right. So when you get on, shout out, say something so I know who's here, okay? Cause y'all, I'm still working from 3. Hey Michelle. Hey Sonny. Hey Jaquetta. Hey, hey, Miss Superstar. So I'm still working from 3 devices, y'all. I'm still working from 3 devices. We have IG, we have Facebook, and we have our YouTube channel. So what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? So listen, y'all know I'm trying to come over. Let me give a second before I say all of that. Let me give a second before I say all that. So what's up, y'all? Hey, Sky. What's up, y'all? I hope everybody had a good week. I hope everybody's ready for a nice weekend. It's hot in Georgia, then it's cool in Georgia, but it's been hot the last few days, so it's been kind of nice. Been kind of nice. So, welcome to Camper Conversations. Welcome to real life relationship growth. Welcome to our page on Facebook, um, and welcome to our channel on YouTube. Welcome to our channel on YouTube. Hey, Scott. So let me get started because, as you guys know, the videos will be posted. So if you come on late or if you didn't know about it, you can always go to the YouTube channel and see all 40. There should be 43 videos now. 43 videos. So if you have not subscribed, please go to Real Life Relationship Growth, the YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. Subscribe at YouTube because I'm trying to take all of these devices over here to YouTube. So when y'all see me back and forth like this, it's because it's y'all fault. But welcome to Real Life Relationship Growth. I am Donna. I am Donna. Um, I started this page about a year ago sometime. It had a change of direction. So the title, the segment called Camper Conversations, a quick explanation for that. I bought a fifth wheel camper. I bought a trailer. I hook it up to the back of my truck, go camping sometimes. Woke up one morning and was like, yo, I should do a segment called Camper Conversations. Camper Conversations is where we come together and I go live every Friday evening, whether I'm in the camper, traveling, or at home. I try to always remember to go on. And we talk about different subjects, different things that have been posted to the page regarding nothing but relationship growth. Now, there's some funny things on there, there's some serious things on there, but we come real. We come real. We have sexual content, we have content for married. Let me say this, if you are an adult who is single, dating, courting, married, or divorced, this is the place for you. This is the page for you. This is the channel for you. Why? Because what we do here, we come together and we try to help each other build healthy relationships. Your house is not my house is not your house. We all have different things going on. But I can guarantee without hesitation that as an adult, we will go through some of the same similar things dealing with relationships, dating, courting, marriage, all of those things. I have been married, I have dated, I am single, I have been divorced, I have courted, all of those things. I am not, and let me be clear, I always like to state this, I am not a relationship expert. I do not confess, I do not profess, I do not proclaim that I am a relationship expert at all. Hey, sis. I am just a black woman in this world, living my life and doing the damn thing. That is who I am. That is it. Now, do we have relationship experts in this group? I really, really, really hope we do. And if you are a relationship expert, please do us the favor, please do us the pleasure of letting us know that, because some people are looking. I got a message about a week or so ago, and someone asked me about Um, Someone asked me about a counselor. Someone asked me about a relationship expert who could help out with things. They had questions and dealing with things in life. So if you are a marriage counselor, if you are a counselor in any aspect that can help build and help relationships, please, please, please let me know. If you're willing, you never know if you're in the same state as someone else and they're looking. But if you're willing, leave your info and I will make sure whoever asks, I will make sure they get it. All right. So, yo, we're going to kick off. We're going to get started. First of all, I always like ladies. We are very important, very crucial. I appreciate you all. You all are very important. But I love, to shout out the brothers. I love to shout out the brothers because we know a lot of times, hence the title of the topic of our live tonight. But we know a lot of times the brothers don't say a lot. They don't do a lot. Some don't really talk a lot. Some are not very, show very much emotion, things like that. So when they do, I love to tell them I appreciate them and I thank them for that because it takes two. It takes two. So shout out to my brothers. They're going to start popping up. They're usually the first ones on, but it's cool. Shout out to my brothers for sharing, for posting, for laughing, for giving your input and your perspective. We really, really appreciate that because we need the male's perspective as well as we need the female perspective. All right. So y'all, let me tell you, we're gonna get started with our topic. Our topic tonight is called HEmotions Part 2. Our topic is called HEmotions Part 2. Last week, Friday, if you have not seen it, please go to the YouTube channel, Real Life Relationship Growth, and watch Part 1. Even though we're in Part 2, watch Part 1. Okay? Part 1 was so good. Didn't start out with the intentions of being part one. Just started out with the intentions of it just being another live that we do, another topic that came up. And let me express to y'all and let y'all know everything that's posted on the page does not come from me. Everything that's posted on the page, I don't think about, I have not dealt with necessarily, or whatever. A lot of things are sent to me, they're inboxed, and I take them and I put them on the page. I do have to approve post, so I will approve a post if you want to share it to the page. Now I'm gonna tell y'all the only way it won't be approved is if it's some type of belittling or bashing because we don't belittle and we don't bash here. We don't do that. Male female hate, we don't do that. The whole purpose of this page is to learn to iron out and work out those differences and those issues so we can be together as one and make strong, healthy families which produce strong, healthy children. All right? So, y'all, so last week, HEmotions. HEmotions. There was a video that I posted, and TD Jakes was the author of this video. He was the one speaking, and it was a clip. And one of my friends, one of my male friends, actually sent it to me. They sent it to me via text and was like, "This will be good for the page." So I was like, I watched it and I was like, "Yo, it would be good for the page." Yes. So I took it and I posted it. If you have not seen that video, it is also posted to the YouTube page, Real Life Relationship Growth, the YouTube channel. It's posted there as well. So, what I did last week, because y'all, yet again, I'm not a techie person. I don't do the tech thing. I don't do the. It's not my thing. But what I did, I played the video and I held up my iPad. I held up my iPad. So I'm going to do the same thing tonight. I'm going to play the video. It's really, really short. If you have not seen it, yeah, this is me trying to figure all these devices out. If you have not seen it, I'm going to play it for you. If you have seen it, then just kind of sit back and see what we can get. All right. So we're going to share. So I'm going to share the video. I'll turn it around and then we're going to get into this thing. We're We're gonna get into this thing. I know there's a glitch. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn this down because y'all know uh Facebook will stop you in a minute. That ain't your song. That ain't your music. All right. So listen, again, this is TD Jakes for you all that don't know. Um, we don't focus on any particular religion and all of that. Okay. This is a man. He is a minister of the word, and he spoke a good word with this caption. All right. So we're gonna check it out. Let me not mess up like I did last week. And here we go. Because if you do that, you are telling me that I cannot put a weakness, put a weakness against me. Because if you do that, you are put a weakness. Okay, here we go. It's against me because if you do that, you are telling me that I cannot. I'll probably let it play twice, y'all. And you teach me to shut up. Every time you betray my trust, you seal in me another layer of silence. And when I scream, I die screaming, and you can't hear me, and you never know why I died because you taught me not to talk to you when you use my talk against me. Emotions. 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 You say we have no emotions. You haven't got a clue. We got emotions you never even saw. We got screams you haven't heard. We got poetry that's never been written. We've got love shut up in our hearts and in our minds and in our guts, our bowels, our loins that never reaches you because you cannot hear. Because you cannot hear the language we speak. Whoo! Yo, I love that video. I really, really do. I love the video. Again, if you did not catch everything he said, the video is posted on the Real Life Relationship Growth page channel. I'm sorry. It's posted on the Real Life Relationship Growth channel. Our channel on YouTube. So please go there and subscribe and watch as many videos as you like because there were 40 some videos. All right, so let's get into this thing. Hey, Chris. Hey, Miss Felicia. All right, we're going to get into this thing. So last week, we dug really deep into the brothers. HEmotions. We dug really deep. Yeah, I had to type on that, y'all, because I had to make sure we flowing, because y'all know I be missing comments. We dug really deep into the topic HEmotions, talking to the brothers. And I didn't want to take on this subject by myself because I am a woman. And being a woman, we don't always understand the male emotion. We don't always understand it. We ourselves are very emotional beings. Women are very emotional beings. And sometimes we don't understand the male emotion and why they act like they do and why they move like they do or whatever. So because we don't, I wanted a brother to come on and give his perspective on things. I wanted a brother to come on and tell us how they feel. Now, I know he doesn't speak for every man and I don't speak for every woman, but it's the dynamic of thought. Okay? That's where we were going with the dynamic of thought. And there was so much said last week, and I hope I can remember as we kind of tag around. There was so much said, and I saw a lot of brothers in the chat agreeing with him. And I'm sure they could give a pound or whatever if they were close enough, but agreeing with him and really showing that he was hitting some good points. He was hitting some good points, and him hitting the good points. They agreed, and it was kind of helpful. It was really helpful. And then after it was over, I had 2 phone calls, 2 conversations about the video, and someone inboxed me and commented. So I love it. I think it's great. I think it's great. But let's go, y'all. Let's go. HEmotions, for those of us, because initially HEmotions wasn't totally understood. And by watching the video, HEmotions um literally talks about the male emotion, or lack thereof, or lack thereof. He talked about how when he expresses his emotions, he gets shut down. And we talked about as well, sometimes it's relational between the male and the woman. Sometimes it is getting shut down in the world, period. Job knocks you down. And society, and you trying to do this and you trying to do that. And every time you turn around and you feel like you on top and you're doing well, you get knocked down again. But of course, because this is real life relationship growth, we're dealing with the male female dynamic, relationship dynamic. We're dealing with relationship dynamics. Okay. All right. So um, he started out the video by saying, you teach me to shut up. Some to that process. He said, you teach me to shut up. And every time I speak, technically, every time I speak my piece, based on how you respond, you teach me how to shut up. You teach me what not to say, when not to say, how not to say. And when you do that, you shut me up, you shut me down. It leaves me in a place where I don't feel like I can speak at all, or I should speak at all. I'm in a place where I don't think I can speak. I don't want to speak. And this is a male perspective, guys. This is coming from we're talking about what the video was saying. You may have gotten a different take on what the video was saying. If you do, please, please, please share it. Share your thoughts and your comments. But that is the take that I got from the video, that he was talking about when a male does express himself, how the response of their significant other, the response of the woman sends them into a shh, and they shut up and they don't say anything else, and they don't have anything else that they want to say, because it's like, you shut me down, you shut me down. So we talked about how it's so crucial and important for us as parents to understand the emotional buildup we create for our boys, for our children, but for our boys, based on this topic, for our boys. Because men grow up, boys grow up, and they're taught, you don't cry. Oh, that didn't hurt. Oh, be quiet. Men don't cry. Things like that. Things like that. And I honestly, y'all, I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. I have a daycare center, work with children all day, went to school. Again, I'm not an expert, I'm not a child care expert, but I know a little something. So anytime I hear a parent, male or female, tell a male child, oh, man up, oh, stop crying, oh, you all right, it bothers me. It bothers me. And I do say something, because truth be told, the body was made and formed with organs, uh, glands, all kinds of things, vessels. The body was formed that way. Everybody, everybody, when I say body, body, was created and made with the possibility of forming tears. Forming tears. I don't know any, unless you have a medical condition. Come on, y'all understand what I'm saying? Unless you have a medical condition that doesn't allow you to form tears, then you have to have something to help do that. Tear ducts are blocked some kind of way or whatever. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the natural development, the natural makeup of the body. Men have tear ducts just like women have tear ducts, which means that at some point in time, crying is a necessity. Is a necessity. If it was not created that way, it would not be. It would not be. If that wasn't the point and purpose of it. So, when we teach our boys that showing emotion is wrong. When we teach our boys that crying when they're hurt is wrong, we create males that grow up and learn how to shut it off and shut themselves down and not express themselves. That's what we teach. That's what we teach. Who said, who, listen, we were created with certain things in certain ways. We were created with certain things in certain ways. When God created man, when God created man, he put certain things in men, testosterone, the thing that makes a male a male. Um, those things were created in him. So how he responds and he reacts to things is naturally what's going to happen. Children are taught hate. Children are taught different behaviors that make them the way they are. I mentioned this last week, and I don't know how many people know this, but um, I can remember in school, I can remember learning in child development that it speaks and says that a child will develop their personality, who they are, the first 3 years of their life. Who they are will be fashioned and formed the first 3 years of their life. So, what you put in them those first 3 years is at some point, in some way, in some fashion, going to come out of them and be how they are. So we can learn behavior. Certain behaviors are learned, y'all, and we can learn good and bad behavior. But your personality set is your personality set. So when we teach boys, a little boy who at the age of a year possibly is learning to walk, and in him walking, he stumbles and he falls and hits his head on the side of the coffee table. What is the first thing? The first thing we usually hear? Oh boy, get up. You all right? You not hurt. Men don't cry. Stop that crying. Come on. I've heard it. And when I say one, I mean 1 year old. I've heard it. And that triggers, and he learns that when I hurt myself, I'm not to cry. When I hurt myself, I shouldn't shed tears. When I hurt myself, I need to suck it up and man up. I need to suck it up and man up. Am I okay? What you mean, sis? You said you okay. I need to suck it up and I need to man up. That's what we're teaching them. So then when they get older, when they start getting older, and they get to the point where they're toddlers, and then they come from being toddlers, and they go into their years of adolescence. And everything they know and everything they've heard and everything they've been taught is to man up and not cry. Don't show emotion. Because if you show emotion, oh, you a punk. Or you this, or you a sissy, or you this, or you that. Do we understand? I'm sure y'all know where this is going. Y'all know where this is going. So when we teach them that and we tell them that, that's what we put out. So let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to adulthood. Let's fast forward to that first relationship. I'm not necessarily talking about the puppy love, the my first girlfriend, um, anything like that. I'm talking about when they get to the point where I want to choose this woman as my wife. No, we're gonna stay before that because that's practice to get to that point. It's practice. The dating process is practice to get to that point. Little side note. That's why I think it's very, very important to date several people when you're single. Now, there's people that don't agree with me on that, and we can delve into that another day and another time, be another topic. But I feel like it's important to date more than one person in the process of learning what you like, who you like, and what is for you. Your life is yours. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not saying dating does not mean having sex with everybody. That's not what dating means to me. I don't know what it means to you, but that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I think it's fun. I think it's fine. I think it's wonderful that I can talk to more than one man at the same time. And we can be adult enough to say, you know what? There's no commitment here. We're still learning each other. We're still getting to know each other. So that's fine. And that goes both ways. And that goes both ways. So we're at the point where he's dating and he's learning, and they get into a point where they're serious and they're talking about certain things. And she says, tell me how you feel about that. And it's almost like a deer in headlights. It's almost like a deer in headlights. Ladies, how many times have you asked your man, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? And their reaction and their response, they're shut down. They don't say, and it could be to the point, hey Ross, it could be to the point, y'all, it's not necessarily that they don't want to express their feelings and emotions. They may truly, truly not know how. Because every time they did that as a child, they were taught and told men don't cry, men don't show emotions, men don't do this, men don't do that. So now we as women need, hey babes, now we as women need that from them, because communication is key in any relationship. But in this dynamic and this relationship, if you can't communicate, you are doomed from the beginning. It will make it a struggle. It will be a struggle. It's almost like pulling teeth. Pulling teeth. Claudette said they tell you what they think and not what they feel because they don't know how to express themselves. A lot of men, and brothers, please chime in. And it's not that, we want you to agree to something you don't agree with. You know how your emotions are built up. But this is real. We talking real life relationship growth. We talking real life relationship growth. If your lady asks you, how do you feel? And if your lady has never seen you cry, hey Corey, if your lady has never seen you cry, never seen you shed a tear, that's hard. That's hard. That's hard for us. Because just because a man cries doesn't make him a punk. Hey babe, hey Corey, just because a man sheds a tear doesn't make him a sissy. Because when he hurts, he should be able to express himself without feeling like I'm going to be belittled. I'm going to be belittled and looked down on, and she going to think I'm not this and she going to think I'm not that. So truth be told, ladies, as adult women, we have a lot to do with why our men shut up and shut down. Let's be honest. Again, I don't speak for every woman. I can only speak from my personal experience, and I can only speak from what's been said to me, possibly in response. Corey said, we know how to express our thoughts and feelings. It's always the response we get. It's always the response we get. Coming from a male, coming from a brother. He said it's always the response that they get. So we have to consider what our response is going to be to this man. If my man comes to me and says, hey, I want to quit my job and start over something new, start over with what I dreamed of all the time when I was young, when I was growing up, I want to quit my job and make sure that I have an opportunity to live my dreams. Now, let's be clear, brothers. If you're going to quit your job, if you're going to quit your job to go out in search of your happy place, please understand and know we have to trust and know that you have everything taken care of. Takes two. We have to trust and know that. But if your man says to you, ladies, I want to quit my job and start over because I've always wanted to be a whatever he says he wants to be. And you say to him, boy, what you mean, quit your job? We got bills to pay. We have this and we have that. And you can't do that. And you're not going, do you understand what it takes to do that? What you're trying to do? We have completely locked and loaded and shut that brother down. Completely locked and loaded and shut that brother down. So when it gets to the point of him wanting to do something and he goes off and he tries it without us even knowing it, how much of that did we feed into? How much of that did we feed into? Corey said, communication is definitely the key. Most don't know how to, let me stop acting like I can see way back there. Most don't know how to dissect what is being discussed and take what is being presented. The message. If you, the partner, can't hear the message and the intent, all is lost. All is lost. He is so right. Like all is, and that will go both directions, y'all. The communication is the key. If he says, I want to quit my job and do XYZ, you all should be at the point, brothers. We should be at the point where I trust you so much and I believe in you so much. And you have set up a network where I can be in that place where I'm saying, baby, okay, when you quitting, when you putting your notice in? What we doing next? What I need to help. Even if you feel and think in your mind, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. You better not say it. And that doesn't mean you just accepting anything he says or he does, ladies. That means he may never ever get to doing what it is that he's saying. But guess what? Just by you encouraging him, that brother will surprise you. That brother will surprise you. I learned a long time ago. I learned a while ago. I'm going to say a long time or a while, either way. I learned that, hey, Mike, I learned that if you encourage a man, he will go above and beyond. Because I really believe men get into a group and they want to show out. They want to see. Now, understand what I'm saying, show out. I'm not saying you want to cause attention and bring attention to yourself. That's not what I mean. What I mean is bigger, better, faster, badder. Another thing y'all been taught. You got to be the best. You get on the court and you balling. Oh, you going to show that you the best baller on the court. Or you hanging out with the fellas, and if y'all drinkers, you going to show that you the best drinker and you can still hold your own. You know, whatever those things are. But I thought about this thing one time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to change how I respond to my man based on the things that he's doing, the things that he wants to do. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Y'all know you cooking, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know I'm very transparent. I don't have a embarrassment, whatever, because what I've dealt with, what I'm dealing with, and what maybe have been in my past or maybe in my future, someone else has dealt with it. Someone else has done it. Someone else has failed. Someone else has succeeded. So I want to pull from you. I want your knowledge and your wisdom. I want to pull from you. So we can share that with one another. Then hey, here we go. So I was not always the encouraging wife. And when I say wife, I'm talking about my children's father, Daryl. That marriage with him. I have been married more than one time. But when I talk about a marriage, that is the one I'm talking about. Some of y'all understand. Some of y'all know why. Some of y'all don't. But it's okay. So I have to be honest. I was not always encouraging as a wife. Truth be told, that's because I didn't know how to be. I didn't get the blueprint. I wasn't necessarily taught that as far as how to be a wife. Our parents teach us things, of course, and they instill things into us. But sometimes we make decisions and choices and we jump out there in life and we do things that we have no business doing because we're not prepared for it. So the way I used to respond to him, I now know that it shut him down because his personality was way different, supportive, yes. His personality was way different than mine. I'm the extrovert, he was the introvert. So when he said things, there was an importance to it. And if I didn't show that I cared or was concerned, and then I would get mad and agitated, like, why you don't talk? Why you not telling me how you feel? Why you this and why you that? Not really understanding and knowing, I answered the question for myself because of my actions when he spoke in the first place. When he spoke in the first place, you learn better, you do better. You learn better, you do better. Let me not mix anybody. Corey said, most people have an agenda to either be right in the situation or to one up the next person. When, in my opinion, is to be one on one accord and grow together. So that when these situations arise, you know what is needed for each other. My 2 cents. That was a good 2 cents, my dear. We can add some more coins onto that. That was good. That was good. Corey also said being supportive. Hey, Kevin. All right, Kevin. Yo, Kevin, it's 7:34, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, glad you made it. So I had to learn that the way I respond to this brother is really kind of going to affect the output that I get from him. So okay, let me finish this thought, then I'm going to go to that one. So I learned and I realized if my man is outside cutting the grass, I love this example, y'all. If he is outside cutting the grass and I look out and he's finished with the grass, oh yeah, it's more than one Corey. And Corey B and El Presidente Corey. Sorry. Um, he cutting the grass, y'all. And he come in and he tired or whatever, or I go out there and I give him something to drink. And I'm like, babe, look at this yard. Even though there may be a patch down there that he missed. Babe, look at this yard. Yo, you did that. My man cutting this grass. My man cutting this grass. And then in response, the brother go from the grass to maybe trimming the hedges to maybe fixing something in the garage that needed something in the house that needed to be fixed or listen, or whatever. And when I say this, y'all, I'm not just talking. I tried it. I tried it. I tried it, and the response that I got, I was like, dang, I should do this a long time ago. I'm doing it with the wrong person. But I should have did this a long time ago. A long time ago. All right. So Corey said, I was wondering why you keep saying Corey, but you didn't mean me. LOL. No, it's two Corys. Yeah, it's two Corys. Corey B. And she said, Hola, El Presidente. It's Corey B and my boy Corey from high school, from Manheim. There he is, Mr. Corey Jenkins. One of my favorite people on this earth, y'all, Mr. Corey Jenkins. All right. So, how we respond, it tends to be what we get. So, in the video, he said that they have dreams and goals, and he said something like they have why don't they say anything or communicate or whatever emotions. He was like they have emotions and things that we haven't even begun to understand, that we haven't even heard. Why? Because it's trapped inside. The brother feels trapped. The brother feels he can't express himself. He can't say what he's really feeling because, truth be told, if I do that, either she's going to see a weakness in me, or they're going to see a weakness in me, or They're not going to take me serious, or they're going to laugh at it. She's going to laugh at it, and she's not going to appreciate who I am and what I am. So furthermore, as time goes on, hey, Christopher, hey, Smiles, as time goes on, he just shuts down, he shuts down, he shuts down. This is part 2 of HEmotions. Part 2 of HEmotions. He just shuts down, and he doesn't want to talk, and he doesn't want to express, and he doesn't want to say. So Kevin said, being affirmed by your woman helps break down a lot of emotional walks in us men. The brother's talking. Being affirmed by your woman. Ladies, now let me be clear and understand and know. I understand that sometimes the brother may do some things that make you not trust. Goes both ways. Just making a statement to the ladies. I understand that the brother may do some things that puts you in a position where you're not confident in him quitting his job. You're not trusting what he's saying and what he wants to do. You're not trusting that. You're not trusting that. And when you don't trust it, your response to him is way different than he would want it to be, or what he expects from you. Communication is key. I said last week that we have to, if we get to the point, y'all, when we realize our mates, our significant other, that other person, their ways aren't always to be taken personal. If we understand that, we would be so much further. So many more relationships would make it. Because we have to realize and understand we come from 2 different walks of life. Some people come from 2 different belief factors. Some people were raised different. Some people were raised with 2 parents in the household. Some people were raised with 1 parent. So based on how your significant other upbringing was, and their life experiences dictates who they are. So if you have a woman that doesn't communicate, that doesn't talk, I listen a lot in the morning to a podcast called Focus on the Family. I love listening to it. Y'all can check it out. I'm not sure what channel it is in your neighborhood or your town or whatever, or your state. Hey, Michelle. But Focus on the Family, I love to listen to them in the morning. They hit, so many different topics based on marriage, parent-child relationship, sibling relationships, blah, blah, blah. So there was a couple on there the other day, and he came from a household where there was a lack. She came from a household where there was way too much. Hey, Gary. She came from a household where there was way too much. Focus on the Family is on Spotify. Okay, perfect. I'm sure it's on different forums. But she said he used to over emotion her. And I laughed because it's usually the opposite. So she was like, he would say to her, honey, how you feeling? How you doing? And she would say, I'm okay. And he said that was a trigger for him. It was a trigger for him. And for years, they butt heads, they had a problem. It was a trigger for him because he starved attention as a child. He starved attention. So whenever he got it from one of his parents, that brother sucked that thing up so deep and he held on it so much because he didn't know when he was going to get more. So he was concerned that her not responding in emotion, he was wondering, man, did I do that right? Did I say that right? Is it okay? Is this? Is that? On the other side of it, y'all, she got so frustrated by it. She was so bothered by it because she was like, I get so tired of this man asking me how I feel. Like, stop asking me. I said I'm good. And then you get to the point where he asking so much, her good turned into agitation, her good turned into leave me alone. But they said what they had to realize and what they learned about one another, their different upbringings. He was not doing something to personally get on her nerves, and she was not doing something to personally push him away and push him off. And they said it took them almost 10 to 15 years of marriage to figure that out. Now, they would have figured it out sooner if there wasn't some stubbornness and they would have gone to counseling. Here go my commercial plug. Counseling, get it. It doesn't have to be anything wrong for you to go to counseling. It doesn't have to be anything wrong for you to go to counseling. Counseling can be something that helps build you up. So when those tough times and those issues come, you have a defense for them. Not being defensive of them. There's a defense to deal with them. If you're dealing with issues and you having problems, and sometimes we're dealing with issues and problems that we crushed down so long and we hid and we put in our pockets and we put behind that we wouldn't have to deal with them, that they're killing us and they're killing relationships. I'm going to be the first to say it. I know where my trauma took me. I know where my trauma took me. Counseling. So anyway, y'all, that's my commercial break on counseling. So, the differences in their life and their upbringing had them like battling with each other. And of course, when you're battling with somebody, your spouse, the person that says they love you and you love them, you're gonna take offense to it. But they were not purposely offending each other. And until they learned how to deal with each other's emotions, there was a breakdown. So Mike said, woo, I need to read this up here because I need my glasses, y'all. Mike said, you live and you learn, especially if the relationship is worth it. Trials and tribulations is what we all will go through. We have to stick in there through the fights, not physically, but the ups and the downs. Time will be the best teacher. Trust me, 22 years, still in the game of marriage, weigh the good times over the bad times. Eventually, though, eventually, though, and eventually through it all, y'all, I need my glasses. I'm not going to do this no more. Eventually, through it all, you will realize that those little trivial arguments didn't add up to nothing, especially through 22 years, especially throwing 22 years away to do what? Start from scratch and having to learn to deal with someone new. Nope, not able to do it. Once you understand the love is that you have for your mate, you will not want to let it go, and for stupid things that come up. You dig? Silly stuff. Silly stuff. I agree, Mike. Silly stuff. We lose relationships over silly stuff. Kevin said a lack of emotional response will shut many of us down. Taking someone's emotional investment in you for granted will cost you long term. Taking someone's emotional investment in you Taking someone's emotional investment in you for granted will cost you long term. Listen, yo, I'm 50, y'all, and I keep trying to do this thing without my glasses. Sometimes I remember them, sometimes I don't. But I am literally trying to read, and on the iPad, what y'all typed keeps fading out. So I'm trying to keep up with it, see it, and then keep it on the page enough where I can keep my spot. Oh man! All right, I'm making it happen though. I'm making it happen. Y'all see me squinting though, right? So that communication and learning and understanding each other's emotions, whatever, Kevin, stop laughing at me, and understanding each other's emotions is what's key and what's going to keep us going and what's going to keep the relationships successful. Not that there's you just got my prescription yesterday. Yo, they will give me one. They keep telling me I just need readers for, like when I'm reading or on the computer. But a certain time at night, y'all, this get all foggy. I can forget it. I'm not reading anything. I can't see it. I don't care. A certain time at night, the eyes get tired or something. But they keep saying, "Oh, you got 20/20, but you just need something when you're reading." No, brother, I need something all the time. Obviously, I need something all the time. Okay. So anyway, y'all. So staying healthy in these relationships means communicating and understanding. So let's not go too far off from the video because it was deep. It went deep. It went deep. That man said, "You teach me how to shut up. You teach me how to shut up. You teach me how to take all my emotions and my feelings and put them inside and hide them and not say a thing to you and not want to communicate with you. Because when I do, all I get is your opinion on what I shouldn't do, how I shouldn't do it, why I shouldn't do it, how I can't do it, instead of being encouraging. Instead of being encouraging. And again, it's not saying that you're going to agree to something that is not conducive to your family's growth. But it's saying, I'm going to support and affirm my man. And in the process, do we know that love is reciprocal? If we understand that, I'm having a bad day. And my man is laughing and joking and smiling. And he says, "Yo, today was a good day. Babe, how was your day?" "Man, I had a bad day. I don't, so, you want to tell me about your day?" "I don't even feel like talking about it." "Oh, yeah, I want to talk about it." And da 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 da. Yeah, y'all know the Charlie Brown thing? You were smothering him emotionally. You were smothering him emotionally. Who was smothering who emotionally? Help me out. I know I keep talking and I may miss something. You were smothering him emotionally. Okay. Tell me, help me out. What are you saying? So remember Charlie Brown, y'all? And the teacher's voice was always like, wah, 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 wah. We couldn't understand none but the kids. So having a conversation with your man sometimes could be like that. You talking, and this brother, all he hears, wah, 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 wah. And you like, did you hear what I said? Yeah, I heard what you said. I heard what you said. But when I said reciprocal, remember I said reciprocal. So my day was bad. I'm telling him about my day. And he says something so encouraging. And he says something so thoughtful. And he says something so helpful. And it may not solve my problem. It may not fix my problem. But it may give me a different perspective on it. And instead of responding to him, you don't know what you're talking about. And what if I say, you don't know what you're talking about, and I respond that way? And he says again, baby, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. I understand you had a tough day. And I understand this wasn't the best. And this didn't work out the way you wanted. But it's going to be okay. And, can I tell you how something that could help or whatever? The more you do that, and I'm talking on both sides of it, unless you're dealing with a just straight up evil person, the more you do that, they're going to begin to reciprocate what you're giving to them. They're going to begin to emulate, and they're going to begin to give back. Reciprocate what you're giving to them. Because it's not too many people, I don't think. No, I'm sure. It's not too many people that if you love on them hard enough, they don't respond to your love. They don't respond to your love. And if they don't respond to your love, take some time to try to understand why they're not responding to your love. That couple I was talking about, he could not understand why she was not responding. And she could not understand why he just had to keep going and keep going and keep going. Because she said, truth be told, I loved his attention, But I just couldn't understand why it had to be so heavy and so hard and if I don't answer in the right way. And that man said, I tried to hold on to every good thought I would get, every good emotion I would get, because growing up as a child, I didn't know when I was going to get that. If my mom hugged me, he said I held on for dear life. Until she'd be like, boy, get off me. That's enough. So the lack of emotion that he received set him up in his mind, in his way, till he was like, I'm going to overdo it. Because maybe if I overdo it, then I'm going to get and I'm going to feel confident and know that this person is in my corner. This person is there for me. This person I can trust and depend on. And it was killing her because she was total opposite. She was like, I love him. I loved him. But there were times I couldn't wait to get away from him. We ain't talking about the regular, I need a break. I need a break. We all need a break. We're not talking about that. We talking about he is too much. I cannot. And this man didn't even realize and know. So if we don't take the emotional lack thereof of the opposite person personally, if we take the time to learn why they are the way that they are, why they operate in the mindset that they do, it would make for so many more healthy relationships. So many more healthy relationships. Because we will realize that's not about me. Now I could help with that, or I could further hurt the situation. But that's not about me. He doesn't respond and act like that because of something I did. And if he responds to me based on something I did, then let's figure out what that is and why it triggers him. He said every time he asked her, how are you feeling? And she said, I'm fine. It would trigger him. Now, that's not to say, and he said, it's not to say that it wasn't my problem. It wasn't her problem. But of course, it was projected onto her. It wasn't her problem, but it was projected onto her. So he himself had to realize, he said, I have to get some help for this because I am killing my relationship as much as I feel like it's being killed. I'm killing it. I'm killing it. And I need to know what to do to make this thing better. To make this thing better because I'm making it worse by responding and acting the way I am toward my mate. I'm making it worse. So HEmotions, y'all. We didn't get as deep today as we did last week. And I think there was a lot and there was so much said last week. I would love for y'all, please go to the Real Life Relationship Growth YouTube channel and watch from last week. We dipped into so much trying to understand the male emotion or the lack of male emotion. And brothers, understand, if y'all want us to trust you, if y'all want us to be in a place where we feel secure and we feel comforted and all of those things, you're going to have to communicate with us. You're going to have to communicate with us. And at the same time, ladies, we have to learn also how they communicate and understand how they communicate. It doesn't mean one of the men, excuse me, one of the men said last week that that sometimes they do shut down and we don't communicate like we should. And we leave our spouses, our significant others, we leave our relationships feeling that there's something missing and something lost. And he was like, even though that is true, that doesn't mean it's right for us to keep going and keep moving that way in our relationships. It doesn't mean it's right. So just because there's a reason behind why a person is the way they are, does not mean that it's right and they should stay in that place, in that position. It does not mean that it's right and they should stay in that place, in that position. You know what I hate to hear? I hate to hear someone say, well, that's how I grew up. That's how we did it in my house. That's how my parents did it. Excuse me. And yes, of course, the way your parents did it is the way children live what they learn. They do what we do, not what we say. They live what they learn. So if your significant other is saying, "Well, that's how we do it. That's I mean, that's what I knew. That's how I grew up." Okay, but you were a child then. And as you grew up and you learn, when you learn better, you do better. But not necessarily that the way they're doing it is wrong, but that thing may not work for y'all's relationship. So you can't tell somebody, that's how my daddy did it. That's how my mama did it. Even though that's where we learned our first insight to relationships is watching our parents or watching our uncles and aunts or watching those around us that influence us, that we look to for knowledge and wisdom. Excuse me, that we look to for knowledge and wisdom. It does not mean that the way we were taught and the way that they did it is right for our relationship. It may not be right for who we're dealing with and who we are. So I that bugs me to the nth degree. Well, that's how I was raised. You're welcome to go live with your mom and them then. Because if the way you were raised, that I'm telling you and responding to you that, baby, that hurts my feelings, or, that doesn't work for me. How can we come to an understanding of what we need and what's going to work for us? If we can't do that, then that's a problem. That's a problem. It's not saying put away who you are and what you learned and what you've done. But your first thought, especially if you're married, especially if you're the point of marriage, your first thought is your spouse, how they feel, what works for you in your household. That's the first thought. All right, y'all. It is 8 o'clock. We started on time. So we're going to try to end on time. Like, I appreciate the comments that came in. I appreciate y'all's input. I knew tonight wasn't going to be as juicy as last Friday. Unless someone new came on and gave some different perspectives. And I do see there's some new people on, but when you hit a topic, unless you have seconds to go with it, it's kind of hard. But I think we did pretty good in touching on what we talked about and elaborating on that even more to get an understanding. So y'all, we done. It's 8:01. We ended. I appreciate y'all coming on. Next week's topic, I already have it, y'all. I already have it. It was posted. And for those of you all who didn't see it, go to the page, not on the YouTube channel, but the Facebook page. And it was something to the degree, and I'm going to post it for next week. But the lady was saying, and it got a lot of comments. The lady was saying that she was at a park. Her child and another person's child was playing together. It was a man. And she was like, oh, they enjoy each other. They playing so much, whatever, kind of elaborating on it. Right. And she was like, we should schedule a play date for them. And the man said, I'll have to something about I have to talk to my wife about it, or I can connect you and my wife and y'all can make that happen. And this woman had a problem with his response. And she kind of ended her statement with, why does he have to go to his wife for everything? Do we feel like we should go to our spouse with everything? Especially when it comes to the opposite sex. So I thought that was a good topic. Y'all, if it changes, it's because y'all going to send me something really, really good. Sometimes you all send me things, you're like, hey, can we discuss this? And please understand and know, if you send something to me, unless you say to put you out there as the person who's asking a question or whatever, unless you say that, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put the topic up, and prayerfully, hopefully, you will get some help or some answers or some guidance to what you're looking for. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. That's my TikTok going off. So I appreciate y'all. So please do me a favor. Go over to YouTube, subscribe to the Real Life Relationship Growth page. When I came in this evening, I checked the page and there were 49 subscribers to the page. 49. My goal a couple weeks ago was like, y'all, can we just hit 50? Can we hit 50? So if you have not subscribed, if you know someone who could benefit from us loving on one another, please let them know. Send a link to them and ask them to subscribe. So I'm praying, I'm hoping before the weekend is over, we at least hit that 50. We hit that 50 because I would love, love, love to take all of this, all of these devices over to one, over to YouTube. And I know that takes time. And please believe, I love that all of y'all are still following and still commenting and still enjoying on Facebook. I love it. I love it. We may never get to 1.7K members is what we have in real life relationship growth on Facebook. We may never get to that on YouTube, but y'all, let's try to get close because this thing called life, we are all living it together. And again, what you know, I may not know. What I know, you may not know. So if we share, if we give, if we support, we're going to all be all right. We're going to all be all right. Love y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Have a wonderful weekend. And keep sending, keep posting, keep subscribing. And I'll see y'all next Friday. I'll see y'all next Friday. Good night, YouTube. That's in YouTube have you doing all kind of stuff.